Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. And I'm excited to show you some of the techniques in Agentic AI that I've learned and I want to share with you. And in particular, for the context of Git and GitHub workflows. So, so I'm going to start off with the tools we're going to need. You can need any text editor. I use Visual Studio Code. If you use a different one, let me know out of curiosity. But this should work pretty much anything modern today. I just have my preferences. You can choose another one. The other thing is Git. Everybody needs that. Otherwise, we cannot do version control. Cannot have the agents run Git commands. Okay, next thing is you have to have an account on GitHub, github.com. Okay. Of course, there's GitLab and others, but I'll be demonstrating GitHub. Also, you should install the GitHub CLI command line interface because the agent will be using it. So make sure to install the GitHub CLI as well. And you're gonna have to follow the installation instructions here. And it tells you that you have to log in. I think it's GitHub auth login or something like that. Let me see. Auth login. Yeah, that's the one. So you can see Gemini is telling me after doing your command installation, what you gotta do is do auth login in the terminal, and it will log you in. It will take you to a browser you authorize, and then you log in. Yes, Peter, you need all of this because the agents need the tools to use. Just like you need these tools, manually do things, the agent does the same. Okay, and you're gonna need a AI agent. In my case, I'm using GitHub Copilot. You can use Claude. You can use Codex from OpenAI. Whatever. Just have an agent, okay? But I use Copilot. So you have to install the command line if you want, or whatever agent you're using. If you don't want to do it through Visual Studio Code. There's two ways. You can do through Visual Studio Code and extension, or you can do standalone in the terminal. Okay. So let me see if I can find a link to this. You guys got it so far? If you're having trouble, let me know and we can have a look and figure it out. For the second one, that's Git. That's the version control. You need to install it. It's Git. It's essential. If you don't have Git, can't do anything. Git is for version control. Just what do you do there? Just install it. You can click here if you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, you can use Brew if you have Brew or whatever. If you're on Linux, there's apt-get. Usually it comes bundled already. But Windows, you can download the installer. It should install the Git. I don't know what system are you using. Just curious. Uh, you gotta be careful. Git is not GitHub. You're saying, oh, I already have a Git account. Git does not have account. GitHub does. But make sure you need the git command locally in your machine because the agent will run the git commands. You need that. Anyway, everybody got all the tools? Okay, when you got all the tools, and I realized I'm not sharing my screen to you guys on Zoom. Why nobody say anything? I was sharing my screen all this time. Oh my gosh. Come on. No wonder you guys are confused. Okay, now you can see my screen? Because I was only recording my screen, not sharing to the Zoom meeting. Oh my gosh. You guys have to say something if I'm not doing it right. Come on. Pay attention. Let's see. You can see my screen, right? You need a text editor. Visual Studio Code. You guys got it? Any text? You can use whatever you want. Use what do they call it? Cursor, uh, Z, IntelliJ, whatever. You need Git. Like as I was saying, you go here, install Git, click install. If you don't already have it, you might already have it if you're a developer, right? GitHub CLI, because your agent will run the commands. This is the GH command. And I was telling you, you need to log in. This is Gemini saying. You need to log in after you download GH command. It will open a browser window. You authorize, and then you can use it. I'm late. Please post tools again. Okay. Hold on. Let me copy it again. 1. Visual Studio Code. 2. Git. 3. An account on github.com. 4. The GitHub CLI GH command. 5. The GitHub Copilot agent. Alternatively, you can use Claude if you have that already. You can use Codex from OpenAI. Whatever agent you got there. I'm curious if you're using a different agent, let me know in the chat. Okay. You need a Copilot here. Let me paste. I pasted that already. And I'm going to send it to you. You guys got it? Because we cannot spend too much time on boilerplate because we need to talk about content. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to delegate tasks to the AI. The AI agent will do things for you. The trick of AI, there's, I guess, one of the fundamental things you have to understand for agentic agents is you have to think, what was I doing before manually? What are the steps that I was taking, even if unconsciously, if I repeat it so much that I don't even think about it? You have to stop and think. In the case of version control, right, when we start a project, we often go to GitHub, we click new, and we create a project, a repository, right? And then we choose a bunch of stuff and create the repository, and this will be our remote. Then we have to go locally, and we gotta clone it. Or you could go the other way. You could initialize with git init locally, and you can add with git remote the GitHub one, and then you can push, right? So you have to remember what are the steps I'm taking so that you have to tell the agent to take those steps for you. The trick of AI, you need to be detailed, you need to be redundant, you need to tell it exactly, very detailed description. If you're good in English or whatever language you use, natural language, if you wrote essays in college or school, you'll be good at this because it's basically writing. You need, but the thing is, in AI writing prompts, you don't care about, oh, I'm not following conjugation. I'm not following grammar correctly. Oh, I'm repeating my words. No, it doesn't really matter. As long as the agent understands your command, it will do the right thing. So don't worry about grammar. Don't worry you forgot the plural, singular, or you conjugated something wrong. It doesn't matter. What's good for AI prompt is the more words you say, the better. If you repeat yourself, the better. It's totally the opposite of what they tell you to write when you're writing essays. If you repeat yourself, if you add a bunch of stuff, the more the better. It's like the longer prompt, the better. More information that's useful, right? So let's just get started. So I would go to GitHub and I would create a new repository, right? Whatever, a to-do list. So how would I do it manually? Okay, I go to github.com, I log in, I click new, I fill out the repository name, I click create repository. Those are the steps. Now, the agent, since you have the GH command now, GitHub command, you have to tell the agent, hey, use this command to use GitHub to create a repository. Okay? Now, if you want to start this project, Visual Studio Code, you can say code space dot here, and it will open Visual Studio Code in that folder. So just create a folder. I usually like to create git/my GitHub username, and I put all my repositories here. You can also file open folder from VS Code if you don't want to do the terminal way. And then you have to go here to this accounts icon. You have to log into GitHub so that it can use the Copilot subscription. Now, of course, AI is expensive. Mostly it's not free. So you guys, if you don't have a plan, it's going to be tough for you to do anything. So maybe you can do a trial. I don't know if Claude Codex, GitHub Copilot offers trials, or if you can just use it in a free account. I don't know. Okay. Myself, I have a subscription applied to my account. Okay, it's GitHub Pro. So I think you can look at the pricing there. So what do you guys have? I'm curious if you have anything. Somebody saying, Peter say, I have Perplexity. Does Perplexity have AI agents for coding? Okay, does any of you have a subscription to any AI thing? Do you have an AI agent of any form? Do you have Claude, Anthropic? Do you have Codex, OpenAI, like ChatGPT? Do you have, even the Facebook one, Llama, whatever? That one I think you can install in your machine for free. What do you guys have? Okay, let's see. And Jeanette, you have Claude Pro. I guess you can use that then. Did you download the agent? If you have Claude, you don't have to use GitHub Copilot, okay? I'm just demonstrating because I have a subscription to that, but I don't have a subscription to Claude. So if you're a person who has Claude, use Claude, please. Don't use the Copilot. If you have Codex, use that. It works the same way, okay? They're all similar. Same concepts. Okay, Le Cabernato, Leslie. VS Code comes GitHub Copilot free tier. Okay, so you can use it. Okay. Kenneth has max 200 Claude. Nice. Eric, OpenAI. Okay. Does that let you use Codex? Perplexity, computer. Okay, Peter, can you use an agent? Rich, GH Copilot Business. Okay. Oh, you have all this stuff? Claude Pro, Gemini Pro, OpenAI Codex. Damn, Rich. You're really rich. Anyway, okay, guys. If you choose to use the graphical user interface, you on the right hand side of Visual Studio Code is gonna find a chat, AI agent chat. Now, if you don't see it, probably wanna click these icons to toggle the bar, or you probably don't have the extension. So you have to go to extensions here, and you have to look for GitHub Copilot if you're using Copilot, and you have to install it. You see, I installed that. If you're using Claude, I think there's a Claude, right? Plugin. So if you're using Claude, install this one. Okay, don't think it's screen showing. Thank you so much. Let me know. Let me switch. Let me see. I can put the VS Code. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, like I said, I can run VS Code from the command line with saying code space dot to the my folder here that I have for my projects repositories, or I can just do from VS Code and click from there. I can go here and click File, Open Folder. Okay, I like to make a git slash my username, and from there I put all my repositories because it reflects the same tree structure as GitHub, owner slash the repository name. You guys get it? Anyway, as I was saying, there's gonna be on the right hand side your AI chat. If you don't have it, you have to install the extension. If you're using Claude, search for Claude under extensions and install that. If you use Codex, probably let me see if they have one. Yeah, they have Codex too. So choose which one you guys want. I'm gonna use Copilot. So you install that one. GitHub Copilot chat. Okay? And Jeanette's saying, is there a setting we need to do when you create a new GitHub repository? Because your screen froze before. We haven't created it yet. Okay? Why am I being asked the question by Kunat Cast? Is there stop sharing? Allow sharing? What is that, Prakash? I don't know what you're talking about there. Where's that from? You guys get it so far? So go back to the repositories here. Prakash, this came right after I installed GitHub CLI. Well, I don't know. Maybe might be some survey that they put. I'm not sure. Just skip it. Okay. Now let me also show you another way of doing this through the people who like CLI. I've used a lot of CLI lately instead of VS Code Visual, so I'm giving you that option as well. So let me first share my screen on my terminal. Hope you can see my terminal. If you're on Windows, I like to use Windows Terminal with CMD. You can also use PowerShell. You can choose which one you want. On Mac, there's Terminal. Windows, Linux Terminal as well. Whatever. So you guys can install the GitHub Copilot or Claude or Codex. So if you do Copilot, just say Copilot. I think if you do Claude, you can just do Claude, right? If you do Codex, probably say Codex. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I do Copilot here. And that opens the agent in the CLI in this folder. And you can see here, you can see information, how much credit you've consumed so far. Mind you, GitHub itself changed their pricing June 1st, 2026. So I guess people are saying it's a lot more expensive. They're saying as of June 4th, 2026, which is today, one AI credit is $1 US. Here it's the model that's being used. I like Claude, so I'm actually using Claude Sonnet 4.6 within my Copilot. I can change it by saying slash model. And if you don't know the name, just press enter and it will let you choose. Now, the models, so far from my experience working with all of them in the workplace industry, I have found that Claude from Anthropic has the best models and they're very proactive. They will do things even if you don't ask. I felt that before GPT-5, the 4 was very weak for coding and it always passive, to be honest. It just stay there and you have to really press it. Can you do this? Can you do that? And it becomes kind of, I didn't like the quality of the code either, but it seems that since GPT-5 and the Codex ones, that they have improved that a lot. So I've actually tried a lot with the Codex 5, so that one is also okay. But still, even with that, I still think the Claude ones are better. And the best one is Opus right now for us to use, at least from Copilot. But the problem is it costs a lot. It burns through all the AI usage very fast. So you have to think about your usage. Do you have an allowance of AI and it's getting expensive? And GitHub's changed their models and it's a lot more expensive now. But I like staying with Sonnet. That's what I'm gonna use. Not too much expensive as Opus, not too bad as the GPT, but that's what I like. And I don't use Gemini that much, unless if I use Auto. If you do Auto and GitHub Copilot, it chooses which model according to the task, and it gives you kind of like a 10% discount as of the time of this recording. But yeah, sometimes if you find AI misbehaving and you're on Auto, it's probably because it's using a weak model. It chooses a weak model, so you got to switch to a better one. Okay, guys, ask to get out. And if you can get out this with Control D, okay? Control D. I'm going back to VS Code, okay? I guess you guys had enough of CLI. And the same thing I did there, you can do in the graphical user interface. Let me show you. Can you see my VS Code? See, after you log in here, GitHub or whatever, Claude or whatever. In my case, I can pick the model here in this chat. You can see 10% discount for Auto and the other models. I'm good at Claude Sonnet. And you can see it gives you information about that. How much is the cost per 1 million token? Okay. And yeah, so let's try to do something. So we want to create a repository. So how would we do that? So we have to tell it. So create a repository on GitHub called, and you gotta give it a name. Let's say demo to-do list. That's my name. And then you have to tell it how to do it because it doesn't know. You have to really tell it, okay, are you gonna use MCP? Are you gonna use the command or whatever? I'm gonna tell it, you leverage or use the GH command to accomplish that. And then you think about, okay, what if the agent cannot do it? Somehow it thinks the command is not suitable for that. You can give an alternative. Okay, if that command doesn't work, then you give an alternative. Try GH API. That's the GraphQL API from GitHub. Or REST API, whatever. Just providing an alternative, okay? what else do we need to say? Like, do you want to initialize the repository with anything at all? You can also say that. You can say initialize with a README. Initialize it with a README markdown file that has the name of the repository as the title or heading about that. And you can go on and on. If you need to add more to your first repository, something like that, the branch name, default branch name. Maybe you want to say, there's people who like the traditional master. There's people who like the new way that's called main, right? You can tell it. Use main as the default branch, not master. You can also, one technique is you don't want to make it guess, okay? So you want to be more than assertive. I say use main. For us humans, you get it. Okay, I'll use main. But for the machine, you also want to say a negative, not master, in case it hallucinates somehow. I don't know, it gets crazy and thinks that somehow you want master instead. So you double assert with a negative there. And then you add more if you want. You want more files or whatever. But I think it's enough for now. And then if you want to add something afterwards, okay, and then what? Remember, when we create a branch remotely, we do not have that in our machine. So what do? Let me break a paragraph. We clone it, right? Then I want you to clone it using the git command in my local machine, right? You should place it. Where do we want to place it? In my home folder slash git slash my username. You don't have to say slash like I said here. You can just say the actual path. I'm on Windows, so it's kind of weird the way they use the paths. This is the home variable. This is like the tilde on Linux slash git slash my username here. I should place it there so that, and you can add even more redundancy. Okay, it's going to place it there, but what if it hallucinates and somehow thinks it should not create an extra repository folder inside that? What if it replaces it? I don't know. So I'm just going to be more than redundant and say the name, right? So I'm going to put it here. What was it? Demo / to-do list. The repository should end up at this location, like that. So you always, whenever you use AI prompt, you're always thinking, what is something we missed that we did not say? Because with AI, if you don't say it, it won't do it. It will hallucinate. So you always refine your prompts. So I recommend you save your prompts so you can reuse them later. And you refine them. As you use them, what's going to happen is you see it doing something wrong or hallucinating. Oh, that's the chance for you to go back to your prompt, add something, tell it to not do that. Okay, so if you don't tell it, it won't know. Okay, so is there something else you could tell it? Maybe you can tell it to CD to it and open the terminal for me. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so that's it. I think we can see it hallucinate. Let's try it just like this, and maybe it'll hallucinate, maybe not. Sometimes I also have to tell you, depending on your operating system, it might go crazy and run the wrong commands. For example, I'm on Windows, right? If it tries to run a command to find things in files like rip grep rg, I might not have that on Windows, so it will just error out. And that's also something you might want to tell it. Like right now, I am running my laptop on a Windows OS operating system. You want to clarify it so it doesn't go try to run like Mac or Linux commands in your Windows machine. Okay, so I also recommend you tell her that. Okay, I'm gonna submit and then we're gonna talk. I see your comments. Okay. Oh, one more thing. You should put agent mode here. Sorry, I forgot that. You should make sure this is marked agent, not ask. That's not ChatGPT. We want an agent. We want it to do things for us. Okay, agent mode. Okay, so you're gonna notice every time you ask something, it's gonna ask for permission to do it. Now, if you're a beginner, I recommend you just review what it's doing, right? Let me read what it's trying to do. Okay, I'm just going to run the gh command. That's right. That's the gh command repo. Okay, has to do with the repositories. Create. Okay, it's going to create a repository that's public. Hey, this is something you should think about. Hey, I didn't say it was public or private. That's something I missed, right? Do we want to make it private or public? That's a really good one to refine in my prompt. I should have said I want it to be private if I wanted private. I can go here and refine it if I want, if I click it and submit it again, right? So keep that in mind. That's a good chance for us to change it. Okay, so I'll keep it public, but just let's make sure to say it here. The repository visibility should be public, not private. Okay. Oh, they also add description. I didn't say description. So if you want, the description of the repository should be demo to-do list for everyone. Okay. And then they said add README. There's an option on GitHub. Okay. So you see what I did? I saw that the AI did something I did not like. Therefore, what I did is I went back to my prompt, I refined it, and added more to it. Right? Remember, AI, if you don't say it, it won't do it, or it will hallucinate. So that's something I missed. I should always ask myself, what did I miss? What more should I say? Okay? Let's resubmit it, and it will try it again. Okay, so let's review it again. Okay, the same thing, that's fine. Now we can click allow, and it will do it for us. And while it's doing it, you can double check GitHub, right? If you go to your browser and check if it's there. Now, it said repository created. Is that true? Well, let's check it out. Let's go to the browser. I'm going to share my screen on the other here. I hope you all can see my screen. I'm going to go to my personal profile here. And I'm going to go, I think, scroll down. Oh, you can see here, created one repository. Nice, it's here. So I think you can click here yourself and repositories. That's how you, oh, there you go, demo to-do list there. So it created it for me. It's public, right? It has a README. Nice. Okay, you guys got it? So it did it right. So when you're working with agents, AI, especially as you're a beginner, I want you guys to always read what it's doing and make sure to verify, right? Because you want to have confidence it's doing the right thing. Often what I see is people don't read anything. They just rely on vibe coding everything. They don't even read what the AI is doing. And then it ends up seeing some sort of messed up state. They do something wrong because they don't even read it to kind of correct it. AI is all about correcting it. You have to be the orchestrator. You have to be the director. If you see something done wrong, you have to immediately say, stop. I'm going to go back and refine my prompt. I'm going to go back and tell it, don't do this or do this way. You have to always be doing that. That's the constant feedback loop. If you don't do it, you're going to end up in a really bad something happening. Like that guy. Remember, there was some guy that said the agent deleted his database. Of course, you're stupid. You have to know what your agent is doing and supervise it. You become like, instead of the worker, you become the manager. If you just let your worker go rogue, they will do whatever, right? So remember that. Okay. So let's go back here to VS Code. And I'll read your comments. Sorry, I haven't read. Let me see your comments. Kenneth is sharing his workflow, setting up my repos, Windows 11 Pro, whatever, okay. Git bash, CLI, okay, nice. Terminal, cd to folder, setup project, Claude CLI, nice. Claude dash dangerously skip permissions. Yeah, okay. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing, Kenneth. That's very nice. Create Claude MD. Nice. Okay, Peter, Perplexity was free for a year. Have Perplexity chat window. Is that good? I'm not sure, Peter. I'm not aware of Perplexity as an AI coding agent. Let me see your screenshot. Perplexity chat. In your code question, hit enter shift. Okay, it looks like that one is just asking for questions. I don't know if it operates in agent mode and actually does things for you, Peter. Can you let me know if you try to ask it the same thing we asked? Or you can even ask it, does Perplexity have an AI coding agent I can use in agent mode? And let me know the answer. Ask itself, right? Kenneth, OpenRider has free models you can try. Oh, okay, you guys can also try that old llama from Facebook. I think it's free, and you can install your machine. Kenneth says requires sign up API key. Okay. All alpha is very good. Anandra, just curious, are there any free tier options at all if you want to play around? Yeah, like Les said, I think if you install VS Code and you have a GitHub account, you get the free version and you can try that out. Let me know if that works for you, Anandraj. We'll get a copy of the prompt here. Prakash, man, you guys got to practice prompting. Why you guys want a copy of the prompt? Oh my gosh. I'll paste it for you, okay? But you have to practice doing it yourself. That's the whole point of this. How do the agent is connected to GitHub? Hossein, for the gh command, you have to install gh and then you run the auth login. Have you not run the auth login? Let me show you here my screen. Share the terminal. Where is the terminal? You have to say gh auth login enter. Make sure you install the gh. That's the GitHub command line, GitHub CLI. After you install it, you are able, I think if you do like this, let's see, it tells you the version, and you can say gh auth login, separated by a space, each word. And it will take you to the browser, and then you log in with your GitHub account, authorize, and then it will automatically have your credentials. Every time the agent runs gh, it will know you're already signed in. I think there's also other ways, of course, of doing it. I'm just showing one way. Of course, there might be MCP or other commands. I can even use REST API if you're crazy, like doing like curl by hand. You can even do that. But anyway, I hope that makes sense. Who's in? Okay. Peter says not working. Peter, why don't you try a VS Code? I think you can try the GitHub Copilot extension for free, no? Try that. And Jeanette is sharing her prompt, okay. Create repository on GitHub. Use gh command for creation, okay. Initialize readme. Set main as default branch, not master. Clone to local. Add folder. Yes. Make the repository public. Yes. That's good, Janet. Um, that's good. Um, one thing you could do, maybe if you're not logged in a Git GH, you should say, if I'm not signed in or GH command, please help me sign in. Run the command to sign in, and it will do it for you. That's something you could do. Going back here to VS Code. Rich says, seriously, take a pic and feed it to AI to generate markdown, cut and paste. Rich, that's a good point. You guys, you can also take screenshots or picture or whatever and paste into the AI, and it will also interpret that instead of copy and pasting text. Okay? It also works for the command line. You can just Control C, Control V the image, or just drag and drop the image. It will work. Okay? If you for some reason cannot copy and paste the image, you can give the path to the file image, and it will also go there and get it. Okay? If you don't know how to do anything, just copy the path where it's saved in your computer, paste it to the prompt, and tell it, here, the image is here, whatever. Go get it and look at it. Prakash says they're an architecture diagram. How these tools are interconnected? I don't have one, but you can ask AI to generate it if you want. but basically, the Visual Studio Code is a text editor, so we can edit files, and it also integrated in development environment, right? It has all these additional extensions: Copilot Chat, File Explorer, file content, and Git is the command for version control to run Git commands, and that ties to GitHub, which is like a remote, like a cloud storage for your code. They now do the Copilot as well, so they also have the product agent Copilot that we use as the computer thing that does work for us. Yeah. Okay. Now you can also see it. What else? Then I wanted to clone it. Yeah, we stopped at the next command, right? So if we go on to the conversation, they created on GitHub, but they're asking now, hey, I'm going to run the GH API command to get our shell to readme. I don't know why they're doing this. Let me see. Let me allow. And if you want to see what is the output, you can click the chevron, and it will show you what that command particularly did. You can see that one. See? So you're like verifying all the outputs for the commands to see if they're okay with the chevron, okay? Close, open. Now it's telling me, hey, I am going to edit the file. Okay, looks like it's editing the README, but instead of doing my local machine, it's doing directly through the GH API GraphQL endpoint. And it's probably because it hasn't cloned it yet in my local. So I will allow it, okay? Now, for the people who get advanced with this, you can click this chevron, and you can choose to always allow the command, or allow this particular command in this session, or the workplace. Workplace is like the folders that are open right now. So you can click to allow it, so you don't have to always click allow, 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 allow. It's kind of annoying when you're experienced, but if you're a beginner, I don't recommend you just let it run rogue, okay? Because you won't understand what's going on. It's going to go too fast. Okay, so it created the repo, master, whatever. Oh, wait, what did it say about master? Update the README on master, then rename the branch to main. That's something messed up, right? It should have come from the beginning as main, right? Why did it do that? Let me check GitHub here. Just double check. Yeah, it did master for me. I probably because my settings do master by default. I don't know, but that's something it kind of maybe it's my GitHub settings, but at still it's gonna fix it, right? So it did it. It you see because I said allow these kind of commands in the session, it didn't even ask for permission. It just did it. You can see there. It did the request, GraphQL request to do it. Now it's renamed to main. You can go to your GitHub and you can verify it. Now it's asking me to clone it. Okay, you're gonna check. Is this the right repository? Is this the right location? Now it's using PowerShell here. You can see pwsh, that's PowerShell. And this is how you get an environment variable PowerShell. $env colon the name. On CMD is percent, name percent. And on Linux and Mac is dollar user and the name home, $home or tilde. Okay, that looks fine. I'm confident I'll go allow. And you can see it's here now. And I can open it. Nice. Very good. And you can see it removed something there, I think, because we told it to just put a heading with the name of the repository. And I think there was something there it removed. And it just tells nice, everything's set up. You can click here to go there and see it. I can see the description, default branch is main. And it's here via SSH. Now, there's something important here I didn't tell you. When you run git commands, it needs to authenticate the GitHub somehow, right? It's either HTTPS or it's SSH. Now, in my case, I already created my SSH key, and I recommend everybody to create an SSH key. Do not clone with HTTPS because it's very annoying because SSH key allows you to run the commands without authenticating explicitly. So it's going to be a pain in the ass. So you guys look it up how to create SSH key. Create one, go to your GitHub settings and put it there. Settings, API, and SSH keys. Save it on GitHub so it knows how to communicate with you. And it asks if the agent starts running commands HTTPS, just tell it, hey, every time you use Git, use SSH. And you can even ask it right now, hey, can you create an SSH key for me if it does not exist? And I don't know. I think you can even ask, hey, use that SSH key and add it to my GitHub account. That's probably going to work through the GH command. You guys can try it. Like, just say, create an SSH key for me in this computer if I don't already have one. Then use that SSH key and add to my GitHub account settings so that I can communicate with GitHub using Git and SSH. And then you want to tell it, you might want to leverage the GH or GH API. That's the GitHub command line. Command to accomplish that. Oh, one more thing. Sometimes agents will not understand how to run things, or they think they understand because they're referencing a very old documentation or whatever. So what you want to do is always tell it, fetch documentation for the latest version or the version we use in this machine, comma, find out. When I say find out, it's going to run, for example, git -- version. And it's gonna fetch the docs for that on the web or somewhere so that you know how to run the commands necessary for this task. Something like that. And you can even tell it to remember. On GitHub now, Copilot at least, you can say, remember this for the future when you try to run any command that you don't know. That way, you don't risk using deprecated or obsolete options or something like that. You can do that. I already have SSH key. I'm curious what it would do. I don't really know. If you guys want to try it out, maybe I could try this in a virtual machine, but I don't have one open right now, and my computer is not that hungry. It doesn't have much RAM, but this is a good prompt for you guys to try if you don't have an SSH key. Peter, what do you mean? I don't remember this between session, right? Can you elaborate what you mean? Anjanette, what is that you said? This is what I got if executor assume should allow it. Yes, you should allow that, Anjanette. That's correct. That looks great. It don't remember the session, right? It won't remember the last prompt. Who? You won't remember, Peter? I'm kind of confused. What are you saying? Are you trying to say I should create a new session? You don't have to, but if you want, that would be, I guess, I don't know. But it's okay to use it here. That's fine, because you're doing a thought process, and it will kind of imply what you've done before. So you can just continue on the same. Okay, let me see. Where's the Zoom thing? Disappeared. I don't even know I'm shattering. I'm still VS Code, okay. Claude won't remember that long prompt. What do you mean it won't remember? Of course it will. The longer the better. Does a VS Code allow us to talk to the agent? Yes, Prakash, that's a very good point. And actually I use that a lot because AI requires you to type a lot and I get tired. So what I do is, if you have your OS on Mac, you can enable dictation on the operating system level. And I think it's the same for Windows. Now, if you don't have that or you don't know how the heck to enable that, you see this microphone here? You can use the extension, I think it's voice, VS Code speech. That's the one you want. VS Code speech, install it, and you get this voice here. But of course, you can do it from the operating system as well. But this is from VS Code. So what you can do is you can click that. I am speaking with my voice right now, and I want you to do something. Nice, right? And you can click again to stop. Now, of course, not perfect. You got to speak really, in a way that it understands you. And another thing that I don't know quite right how to make it work is when you have like file names and paths, right? I don't know how to say it. It doesn't really understand, right? C:/users NBK. You see, it's all messed up. I'm gonna type a path to a file right now. /users/ something /where, ampersand, comma, period, question mark. You can see, guys, it's saying the words. Sometimes I don't know, it depends on the dictation tool, right? So this one doesn't really pick up what I want to say. I want to say the actual punctuation and the slash, like this, right? Slash whatever. It doesn't say it. But you guys should definitely leverage this, especially when you're tired and you have to type a lot in your prompt. So it's very nice. Thank you for that, Prakash. Prakash, another tip for you, because the long prompts, remember, save all your prompts. Save them. So you can try them again. For example, have a project and I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Save that so you can reuse it, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you a technique called skills. On here, you can open the command palette, Control-Shift-P, create skill, generate skill. If you do that, what the hell? Skill, where is that? New skill file. New skill file. And you can pick where you want to store it. For example, if you want global, Copilot, Claude, whatever. Let's do Copilot. And then you type the name. Okay, let's say clone, I don't know, create repository. How about that? And you can say, okay, instructs the AI agent to create a repository on GitHub and then clone it locally. And then here, after these dashes, you can copy your prompt, save it. Okay? And now, of course, this is going to be messed up because this has to change. I think you can do is like this. You can put, I think it's $, right? Is it $? Repository name as the placeholder and copy. And you see this thing that's recommending me stuff? That's also Copilot. So I keep tab that. And I think here I have to say, what is it? What is the name thing? I forget. Let me ask Copilot here in a new chat. Ask the agent, what is the YAML field used to make a placeholder variable to be injected in this skill file? I want to replace this one. And let me see what it says. So it tells me I should add, it doesn't know. What? Let me see my other skill file. Because I know there is a way. Let me see my skills here. One moment. I don't remember what it is. Ooh, notepad. Okay, it doesn't say. Skill file receive arguments. Let me try agent mode. I want this AI agent skill file to have an input parameter, repository name. What is the property I need to add to the YAML? I think, what is it called? Face header? I don't know. There's a name for that. Fix it for me. And that agent mode will do it. Front matter. Front matter is the name. Argument hint. Maybe it's called argument hint. So look what I did just now. This is called steering technique. It's when the AI agent, you provided something, but you forget about something, and later you find out a clue, you can add on to it and type it there. Okay, that's called steering. And it's very useful. I've done this a lot. Like I have a huge prompt, I saved it, and at the same time, while the agent is working, I find out new clues about the problem I'm solving. I talk to other people, I found this and that. What I do is I take that, dump it into the chat again, enter, and it steers that, adds more information, and the agent can know more about it. Okay, so tell me argument hint, whatever. Do I need to put it in square brackets? No, it's just a plain string, square brackets. Okay. Let's see if that works. So what you do is, okay, you save that, and you can see it's going to be saved under Copilot skills, create repository / skill.md. Create repository, that's the name I gave that. And you can click keep here. What I do is / create repository here. Okay? So if you have something you're always doing, it's tired to always copy and paste, always type the same stuff over and over, make a skill file. This might be called something else in other agents, but Copilot, it's called a skill. And you do in the chat / the name of the skill. And it will literally, it's like a copy and paste into here. Okay, and then in this case, I need to give the repository name. Let's say hello world 123. Enter. Let's see what's going to do there. You see? Look at that. It's thinking. You can read what's thinking. Create a repository using whatever. Whatever. See that one? Let's read what's thinking. Create a repository, initialize, use main, clone it, whatever. Why am I telling you to read it? Because oftentimes as you read, not only do you get to understand things better and to know what it's doing, but it's a chance for you to steer it in the right direction. What I often find myself when I did work with agents is I'm reading what they're doing and I find, hey, this is weird. Let me copy this here, quote with a greater than, and say, I think you should add some content to it actually. Add hello world with a very funny message. See, I'm taking what it's doing and redirecting it to where I want to be. Maybe they're doing something I dislike. Oh, I don't want it to be public. Fuck that. I'm going to go here, add more to it. Actually, make it private, not public. Okay? And I can just type it there to refine it. And it will re-evaluate and do it for me. So it's very useful as you're working through things. Okay? Now look at what's going on here. It did something very funny actually. This is not a correct thing to do. It thought that I was editing my skill because of the context. So you see AI hallucinator there. So I probably don't want to have it in my context to get out of this thing. So I probably want to try it again. Let me try it again for you. I want to copy this. This is hello world 123, right? I want to make a new session. Let me get out of this stuff. And I'm going to do the same thing. Create repository. So see, AI makes mistakes. So they're just messed up. I could have told it, hey, don't change that file. Instead, I want you to do my notes for what I asked you before. That's also possible. Another way, you could just remove all the context and put it here. Okay? But now, if you want to try that again with this to-do list, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and then I steer it. Let's see what happens. Now you see it's thinking again. And it made a plan here. See the plan to-dos? Now it's private. You see that? Now it's correct. Private, description, whatever. Then it's going to clone. It's going to do whatever. You guys get it? Now let me go. How do I go back to a previous session? I can go here to this. It's kind of weird because you have this and you have this. It's very confusing. So you click here and you can go back. Okay? Now I went back to the other one to correct it because you guys saw it did some mistakes. So let me open that skill thing. So let me correct it. Hey, I didn't ask you to change the current file. Actually, what I said was regarding the request to create a repository that I previously sent you. Let's see if it corrects itself. See, it's going to think, you're right, my apologies. Let me revert. Okay, you better revert for me. And you can review what it did. Okay, they reverted. Oh, now they're going to create it for me. Oh, it's private. Okay. You see, guys? The technique you got to use. You always constantly need to tell it to correct itself. It happens very often. That's why you guys have to be reading it, what it's doing, and then copying and paste stuff to steer it. And if it does fuck ups like this, you have to tell it, hey, that's not the right way. Fix it or revert it, whatever. I was talking about the other thing. So that's the AI way, agent way. You always want to be doing this. So you're like always telling somebody to do something, and you have like sometimes a worker that doesn't think very straight. Kind of, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's competent, but it can be very smart if you tell it the right thing, right? If you guide it in the right direction. Okay. Anyway, I guess we're kind of running out of time, so I'd like to wrap up this session. Couldn't go a lot more stuff that I wanted, but I hope this was useful for you guys. I'm gonna open the floor now and let you guys speak if you have any questions or comments. Let me see. Where's the Zoom thing? Now we'll read your comments. Okay. If I can find where the Zoom is, because it disappeared. Where's my Zoom? Oh, here it was behind the participants. Show meeting. Participants. Okay. You guys can talk now if you want. Yeah, let me read the chat here. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, you can also ask the agent to create a skill if you want, or you can manually create it yourself like I did. Now, if you want to do the other repository, I put an argument to the skill so that it can create any kind of thing. It just gets replaced. It's basically copies this, replaces this with what you say. So if I say create repository, hello world, this hello world message, it will basically go here and here, right? It's like a placeholder. Um, yeah, that's like the reason I do that is I don't want to be repeating myself every time. I have to copy and paste or even type it by hand again, the same thing. This is very, very useful, especially if you have a task that's very repeated. For example, I have a project that has like 10 repositories that need to be changed, and they each need to be standardized to, let's say, a testing framework. Oh, everybody, we're changing our test framework to ABC. Oh, no, I got to go manually through every single one of them, do the same thing over and over, right? So what you do is open a bunch of agents, tell one agent, hey, go to this repository and do the migration to this ABC test. And then you copy that prompt, open another agent, paste it. Open another agent, paste it. Open another agent, paste it. Or do slash skill, right? And basically you have 10 agents open doing the same thing to the different repositories each. So that's why it's very useful. Well, you have to monitor them. You don't know. You just monitor, but the more the better you get at it, the less mistakes they'll make. So what you do is, if you're scared, go to the first one, try it out, and if it makes mistakes, what you do is go back to your skill, add the mistake they did, correct it. Do not do this. When you come across this situation, do that. So that's the point of the first trial. You want to refine your prompt. And then you go to the next. Let's do like 3 of them. Try, if you see something bad, go back, refine it. Go back, refine it, and eventually everything will be smooth, that you have confidence and give them authority to just do it automatically. That's the way it is. Yeah, so that's my approach that I recommend. You first want to refine it until you get it to very good, and then you can be confident it will do the right thing. And you don't have to be worried about the thing, because I think you can constrain it to the only change that folder. And even if you change it, if you're under version control, you get to review what it did afterward, right? So if it did something you didn't like, you can just correct it. Hey, just revert this change. Revert that other change. I don't like this. And it will revert it. Because everything is version controlled, there's no risk in losing the code or whatever. So it's on GitHub remotes as well. So you never lose the code. So that's why everybody should always version control all your codes. There's there's no point in doing this without version control. Okay. Anandraj asks, if I'm creating skills, are there published skills for GitHub which you can use and customize? Yes, you can use other people's skills. Just look it up. Of course, yes. Something like a standardized workflow? Yes, there is. You can go online and find skills for Claude, skills for Copilot, and you can just copy them and download, and then use it yourself. Okay, Anjanette, you are just seeing your message now. Skill.md is just something that can be repeated, reused over and over. YAML is a format, right? This format here, like JSON, YAML, these are formats. This is this format with a property colon value in each line. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the format they use. This is called the front matter YAML in a markdown file. This is markdown. For some reason some guy thought it was nice or cool to put YAML in a markdown, to put metadata, but whatever. So, thank you, Syed, for explaining what a skill is. Yeah. You can just have a repository with skills on GitHub, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So you could do that. Or you can just copy. I don't know. You can even ask the agent to do it for you. Go to this repository, use the skill, or copy the skill, clone it, and install it for me. Yeah. Yes. You can put it anywhere you want. You can even put it on Jira, put it in Atlassian Wiki, wherever you want. Google Drive, you name it. Yeah. Okay, Peter said, that's what I'm saying, have to save your prompts. Yes. Always save them. I like to keep every repository that I have, I like to make a markdown file that I save it with everything that I type to it. If I need to ever look back, I just copy it. Oh, but I want to show you something though. You can always reference back your sessions, right? There's also that. Even Copilot, if you're like Copilot. Wait. Copilot -- resume. Yes. This one will show you all your previous sessions. So if you guys don't forget, oh, I forgot what I did. Just do this. I think Claude has the same thing, right? Claude Codex. It will basically show you everything you did. So you can go back. Very nice, right? It's the same with VS Code. You can click and see those previous sessions. Another thing that's cool before I leave, you guys can actually leave your computer running and control from your phone. I actually wanted to show you that. /remote on. That's the command. On Copilot. I don't know, Codex and Claude might be the same or different. I think computer use on Codex. That way, what you do is, let me do a demonstration here. I'm open that one that we were doing, right? And I hope you guys can stay a little bit. I've just demonstrated and we can leave. Uh, which one were we doing? I don't even know. Where is it? 2 hours ago. Remote. Just now. I don't know why this is doing, but let's say, can you echo hello world? You guys see my prompt, my screen, right? So what I'm gonna do is say remote on, and I can go my phone. Let me share my phone screen. Show you guys. Let me go iPhone. Can you see it? Can you see my phone? You guys are going to download, if you're using Copilot, it's the GitHub app. This is the same if you're using Codex, the Codex app. If you're using Claude, it's the Claude app, right? You go to Copilot, look, hello world is here. And there you go. Hello world. And you can control from here. Can you echo bye? And it will do it for you. And you can go back to your computer later and see the work it did. So I'm going back to my computer. And I'm going to see it here. You can see bye. So if you guys are like, man, this is so exciting, but I'm really tired, I'm going to go to bed, take my phone with me. I'm going to monitor the agent while I'm in bed. Okay, so you guys can do that. Okay. Very nice presentation, Mark. Thanks. You're welcome, Thomas. Want to hear more about GitHub workflows? Yes, we don't have much time. And Jeanette, not sure I get Claude in command line. Just install the command, install Claude in your machine, and you can just type Claude in the terminal. Okay, guys. And last thing, when you close Copilot in the CLI, for example, it tells you how much credits you used, what was your session, how many tokens, up tokens, cached, and down. So you can have an idea of your cost of your request. Give you an idea, one AI credit is like 1 cent right now. So this is how many cents? 9 cents, right? So to say hello and bye, it took 9 cents. So I spent 9 cents to do that. If you guys are interested, give you like, it's normal for me. I think, let's say yesterday, I spent maybe $80 AI in my workplace. AI credits, that's like 80 times 100, right? Around that ball game. So AI is expensive, but it's very convenient. Any final thoughts? If you like this session, guys, send me some donation. I'd appreciate it. Let me see if I can give you my links. Where is it? Microsoft Edge. And follow me on GitHub, on all the social media if you want. I'd appreciate it. I might post it to my YouTube. So if you guys want to go and subscribe to my YouTube, I might post it there. Oops, why is this one acting weird? And if you like it, send me donation. Thank you. Any final thoughts? Yes, I can do. Yeah, anything you do manually, try to think of what do I do right now? What are the steps? And you can ask it to do it. If you're really a power user, you can ask it to, write the ticket for you, post to the ticket, comment on the ticket, write a document, get into the production cluster Kubernetes pod, into Docker, read the logs, debug, find problems. It's very powerful if you know how to use it. I even fixed a laptop microphone doing it. I had a laptop from somebody that was on another country. I remote desktop into it. I installed the agent. I asked the agent, hey, can you go do this and that, run, make programs to find out why the microphone is broken. And it found out how to fix it and fix the microphone. And it's working now. So it's very powerful if you know how to use it. Peter, my YouTube is there above your message. A skill readme to resolve merge conflicts would be useful. Yes, Thomas, you can just ask it, resolve merge conflict, and it will just do it for you. Final thoughts? I'm going to go. Thank you so much. How do we go about defining AI governance frameworks, policies, standards, data program organization? Prakash, that's a very complex question, and maybe we don't have time to go over that, and maybe that would require some paid consultancy with somebody. But anyway, sorry, we can go over that. Ask the agent what they say about that. Okay, everyone, I really appreciate your being here. I really got to go. It was very fun being with you. I hope you learned something. Bye.